money in the bank. Tell him what is it. They get money in the bank. Okay, whatever. Let's just go over this. We're gonna start to kick off the main show. In a total of kick off the main show, 12 matches on pay-per-view. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you really think people want to watch that much wrestling? WWE. You had the Usos that's been hopping to show just to have a title opportunity on SmackDown, but they have a non-championship match against the tag team champions. That is Daniel Bryan and Luke Harper in a pretty decent match. That's the same match we've been seeing for the last several weeks. In a non-title opportunity, it's not even a different stipulation like a tornado tag match. Even though we got the same thing, suicide dive, super kick to the midsection for Rowan, a big boot, I think an attempt for a diving headbutt, super kick. Of course, I love the Usos, and Daniel Bryan's a great wrestler, and same thing when he had Luke Harper with him. Rowan is a good foil for like a big powerhouse big man, the lack of that in WWE unless you guys like Braun Strowman or Lars Sullivan. Kane's not here anymore, and I don't know where the fuck Big Show is. So, yeah, this was a pretty decent match for kickoff, and it was a fucking mediocre SmackDown match. In my opinion, this was not exciting, especially with nothing on live pay-per-view. Even though people don't watch pay-per-view anymore, it's still the WWE Network. It's a monthly subscription and watch anything you want. So anything as precious as your money being thrown upon for a fucking pay-per-view event that's supposed to be important, supposed to be a conclusion of most feuds going on, or at least an introduction to new ones. This was a pretty poor intro, especially for kickoff to your new tag team champion set. I think only had one title defense. Next up was, of course, the kickoff of the show. Fucking Naomi was dressed up as a goddamn. I forgot what her name was, but she's in the DC universe, and she was notable for the Teen Titans. If anybody can look that up, I'm not a DC guy. So, the only guys that I know are Aquaman, Batman, Superman, Booster Gold, fucking Orion. Goddamn, that's Starkside. Most of the guys from the Justice League. Yeah, this was the Frontier, 8 wrestlers for the Money in the Bank ladder match for the female one, and there were some decent spots. So, it was Amber Moon, Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, Bayley, Natalya, Naomi, Carmella, and Mandy Rose. It was alright. They had some decent spots. Shayna Baszler tried to interfere in later in half of the match. Fucking Naomi thought she was Kofi Kingston. She was hopping when two women are holding ladders above their heads. She was trying to escalate through them so that she can hit a clothesline. There were so many sloppy moves. It's like, what? I've been complaining about this since 2017. Why do we need a women's ladder match? I know you're trying to make this inclusive, but do these women look like they can take punishment? Or is it's exciting to see? I know female fans of the sport that are even like, is it really necessary? Is it really necessary to have this just for a point of, oh, we have females now wrestling for Money in the Bank matches, even though there's less value on the women's championships now. Nikki Cross barely got much except like her little twister neck breaker through the second rope. And there was a great spot involving Amber Moon hitting her little stunner off the top of a fucking ladder to hit Mandy Rose. A huge running knee to the ladder on, I think it was Carmella. Carmella still can't hit super kicks correctly. It came up with Bayley just doing brawls. Dana Brooke still thinks she's a good wrestler. That's what you get for sucking Dolph Ziggler's dick. You think that you're good, even though you're in the ring. Even though Dolph Ziggler's better. No disrespect, I mean, popularity-wise, you're not that good. This was an alright match opener, but it could have been way better, especially with Natalya, Naomi, that I know she can go. Nikki Cross that haven't proven herself yet, but she was used as a substitute for Alexa Bliss. That barely has time to compete for some apparent reason. yet she addressed and wasted most of our times every week on Raw. So some point of this is stupid. Carmella's now a babyface, and Amber Moon's just there, while Mandy Rose has been screwed over for shit because of Shayna Baszler. Not Shayna Baszler. I keep thinking that she's Shayna Baszler, yet she's not. Whatever, this was a decent match opener. Next was the shittiest finish. I'm telling you right now, who in the fuck wouldn't want to see a match like this? Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio. First of all, the shittiest build-up. The only time when it was decent was Rey Mysterio actually got a clean pin on Samoa Joe back on SmackDown in a tag team match. Then he just somehow just got a match opportunity. That somehow just yearns a match opportunity all because you pinned the champion. In a multi-man match where even somebody else, your tag team partner, could have pinned him. So I hate that. I hate that bullshit. Whenever you pin the champion, you just gifted a championship opportunity. And this is another unearned match opportunity. Rey Mysterio is now a fucking Grand Slam because of this. Yes, he is now a Grand Slam. He have won the Intercontinental Championship back in 2009 twice. He have won the World Heavyweight Championship 2 times. One back at WrestleMania 22 and the other one back at the fucking Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view back in 2010, if you remember that. I remember this in distinct detail because me and my brother were big-ass Rey Mysterio fans. He is I don't think we'll count the Cruiserweight Championship. He's a multi-tag team champion. Everybody knows that. So, and he won the WWE Championship in 2011 in under 24 hours. Just for John Cena to beat him. That's the illustrious career of Rey Mysterio. Sadly, for championship-wise. Anything else, he's a freaking GOAT. But this match could have been way better. That I wanted this to last 10 minutes. I swear to God, I would have clapped if it lasted at least 5. It lasted at least 5, but it came off a shitty finish, off getting the shoulders up. So, and Samoa Joe would just attack him. I thought this would get better drive if it's like, why didn't you just attack his son to make this a different stipulation match? Especially when you're involving family in this. Usually it comes into a more personal conflict, so why didn't Rey Mysterio just lose the match by disqualification? Keeping Samoa Joe as champion, plus Samoa Joe just got busted the fuck open and got a random nosebleed out of fucking nowhere, so they just rushed up the pinfall that just got Samoa Joe's shoulder up for a false fucking finish. And then they told me on Raw that he got a separated disc, so he's out, and the championship is now fucking vacant. What a feud. What a feud! For Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. Two guys that I thought would gel in the ring quite nicely and would give me some memorable matches because Samoa Joe knows how to manhandle bitches. And Rey Mysterio is good with any freaking powerhouse. If you ever seen him against like freaking Umaga or Kane or anybody else. Rey Mysterio can make almost everybody in the ring look incredible in comparison or make them look like a freaking monster. Why couldn't you just rip off the squash match back at WrestleMania 35? Like, that couldn't get me angry. 2 guys got busted open. I heard Mustafa Ali got fucking busted, got his mouth busted with blood and shit. In a fucking random-ass handicap match involving Lars Sullivan later in the show, plus Lars Sullivan was a Money in the Bank for some apparent reason. I didn't even know he was feuding with the Lucha House Party. Wasn't he feuding with R-Truth? The nigga that attacked him multiple times with a steel chair? And Matt Hardy. This makes no fucking sense. And I thought Lars was on Raw, but thanks to this wild card effect, now he feuds with the Lucha House Party. Somehow the Lucha House Party gets more screen time than 2 former United States champions. That blows my mind. Okay. Yeah, that happened. But after this was the goddamn... I just wanted to get that out the way because that made no damn sense. Next up was involving the steel cage match, and this was it's alright steel cage match. Shane McMahon tried to be a wrestler. And I had to vouch for him because he did incredibly well. There was barely any mistakes. It was getting really physical. Shane McMahon kept just getting tossed around and kept tossing Miz through the cage. It felt like just 50-50 at its especially when Miz is the more experienced wrestler, and while he has him in the ring, Shane was just running to escape the cage no matter what could happen. So she was still trying to be a shit heel, but then later on did a fireman's carry flip over his shoulders and manhandled the Miz like it was fucking nothing. Then the finish, I think Miz tried to go for a superplex off the freaking cage. That would have been nice, but then Shane escaped with loosening his shirt, taking it off, and getting out the cage 2 feet out. It's going to be a victory. Yeah, it was an alright match. I'll give it that. It was pretty decent. It was watchable at least. It kept my interest. I thought Miz was going to do more extreme shit. And one shitty finish is as much as the referee couldn't recognize that the opponent's shoulders were up, why he had to rush a pinfall for some fucking reason when it was a regularly scheduled match that had no time limit. And then, especially when you have a pay-per-view that's including kickoff, nearly 5 hours long, I suspect time management, or at least the way a match should be paced, should be better. You had fucking a steel cage match that's literally no disqualifications or countouts. The only way to win is literally pinfall, submission, or escaping the fucking cage by the door, or just hopping or climbing over that bitch. Simple rules to follow, right? Expense, but it's gonna be physical. Plus, these guys can't escape unless they want to win. That's the point of steel cage match. Why in the fuck does Shane have to get a rope break after taking a fucking goddamn skull-crushing finale on a chair? That made no damn sense to me. That got me pissed off. That's twice referees made mistakes. Oh, David's predetermined. They had to do that so they could make the match longer. Case in point. That was it. The only reason to do that, instead of a brutal finish with smashing a man's face through a goddamn chair, they just need to put a rope break so Shane can look like a shit heel. I thought this was full-on retribution. We just did it for the hell of it, so Shane can continue off his heel thing, and we need the non-wrestler to look strong. We need the non-wrestling shit heel son of a company that sort of has power over anything but doesn't really book a match unless it involves himself. Not for a championship, mind you. Not even to be an asshole. The only person that he bullies in the damn company is a fucking ring announcer to just say best in the world because of a fucking tournament in Saudi Arabia. I don't know why I'm dragging this over, but this really was my frustration over the entire storyline. Because other than Shane trying to beat the shit out of his father, it's literally the only compelling storyline of 2019. Shane turning heel against a man notable for turning against his own tag team partner. So, yeah. That's why this feud, unless you're a long-term wrestling fan, this would feel cut and dry. If you were a new fan, like at least a few years or just this year, you're becoming a WWE fan, this would be a bit nuanced. It must have been surprising for you that Shane turned heel. It was a bit surprising for me back at Fastlane that Shane turned heel. But this feud is shit to me. I didn't even know why they had a steel cage match. If you wanted to make it while he had a rope break, you could have just made it I don't nothing. Why didn't you just have Rowan and Daniel Bryan interfere in the match if you wanted to break the pinfall? Something that made sense. Whatever, this match was alright. Shane won, we get the gist of it. Next up was a pretty good match. This is like the first time I've ever seen a Cruiserweight Championship match. And it was Tony Nese defending against Arya Daivari from 205 Live for the Cruiserweight Championship. And this was alright. Pretty physical. We know how good Tony Nese did. Arya Daivari pretty much had the offensive end. Arya Daivari has the same entrance as Alberto Del Rio. This comes from a guy that doesn't not watch 205 Live consistently, because I'm just on more important shit. Like the two main shows that are supposed to be the main source of revenue for WWE. So that's mainly what I bring my attention to. So this match was alright. It had the same finish, just taking off the knee pad, running knee for the turnbuckle. Literally Zack Ryder's finisher, but a knee to the jaw. This was alright. If I got a storyline involving 205 Live, this must have been more important. But anything else, this was alright. Pretty much it. It's Tony fucking Nese. The only thing he has is abs. They kept recognizing, look at the work ethic on Tony Nese. Everybody in WWE is built lean and athletic. The fuck? You haven't seen Finn Balor before? Leo Rush. Oh, I shouldn't be bringing up Leo Rush. Oh, God. And, anybody else that can do a flip? Or 17 of them, like Ricochet. Or Aleister Black when he actually wants to do a match. Next up was one of the two title defenses to Becky Two Belts. Isn't she undisputed champion of the women's championship? So why doesn't she put both on the line? Wouldn't that be more prestigious for... Are they literally doing this so SmackDown has a women's champion? Like, I give a fuck? Like, she's the most over woman, and there's no other woman that's more popular than Becky Lynch. So I don't know why don't you just keep her with the two belts until SummerSlam. Or at least until the Saudi show that somehow it's like how to waste our time. We have 4 weeks. We have waited like 4 or 5 weeks after WrestleMania for Money in the Bank. That was like 2 nights ago. And now we have fucking a Super Showdown 2 weeks ago for the WrestleMania-esque thing. Saudi Arabia should be grateful that they're having a WWE event, but they want to make a WrestleMania-esque? Go suck my fucking dick. I'm so angry now because this wasted my fucking time. Because Lacey Evans has not proven herself to me as a big contending women competitor, and of course she was going to lose. But as soon as after this match, because I didn't give a shit about it, it was just Charlotte then having a championship opportunity for the matchup. It was a better matchup, but it was just rushed rope break after rushed rope break. A distraction came afterwards. A distraction came afterwards off Lacey Evans, and then a big boot to the face for the 3 count to make fucking Charlotte Flair a 10-time women's champion in under 5 years. She's been the company. She's been in the main roster since 2015, guys. I don't even know they were going to count the Divas Championship as a women's championship. I mean, it is, but feminism and shit. So that pissed me off. Especially of a false finish like that. Why would you have her wrestle 2 matches in a row? How's this supposed to make her over? I thought one title defense would, especially for a new champion. So she loses the SmackDown Championship, but she regains the Raw Championship. So bloody, blah, whatever. Next was after the 2 women assaults on Becky Lynch. Bayley came for no reason, just to help out a former horsewoman and shit. And cashed in on Charlotte to become the new women's champion on SmackDown. I did not care. I don't care about Bayley. I don't care about Lacey Evans. Charlotte Flair has totally ran her course. She hasn't been hot to me since 2016, and Becky Lynch is not interesting. They try to tell me that she's Stone Cold Steve Austin-esque, except she just has a person that's supposed to be saying that she's Stone Cold Steve Austin-esque is somebody that you never want to get in a fight with. Becky Lynch is so fucking cute. You expect me to actually feel like I can't beat Becky Lynch in a fight? Especially when it's told to me the next night on Raw that everybody knows already. That Paul Heyman already knows, and he just shouted out, "Hey, I was sucking the dick of Becky Two Belts." I mean, I'm retarded. Becky Two Belts sucking your dick, Seth? Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I did not care. So we had 2 title changes. Next up was Elias. Roman Reigns was warming up for Roman Reigns versus Elias. Then Elias came with his own guitar and hit him backstage for Elias to do in his own event. So the match was completely pointless until later on. Then, funny enough, Elias came with an electric guitar. Literally just came with the most entertaining segment because his guitar broke, because he literally beat the shit out of Roman with it. Then came up later, fucking Roman Reigns, because we need a feel good moment, because the babyface is always supposed to triumph. Waste everybody's time because it's literally cliche at this point. Speared Elias because we forgot this was still a match for the 1, 2, 3. So that was stupid. There was also a backstage segment involving Sami Zayn trying to get extra protection for Braun Strowman because he said he's cliche and vengeance. So Braun Strowman was already there, yet you said he was banned from the arena. He's banned from the arena, and yet he still came. But then you try to make this double twist on me until the main event. Because you always want WWE to second guess. You want WWE to second guess. Oh my god, the fans are so dumb. Oh my god. Fans. But Braun Strowman's there, so it's obviously then Triple H told him to leave. Like, why couldn't you just beat the shit out of Triple H like you did? Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. Oh my god, I'm nearly gonna break myself. Next up was the best match on the card for the Universal Championship: Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. It had everything I want: good athleticism, good pacing. It was pretty. It was a good forearm smash by AJ. A curb stomp for a power bomb. Then a curb stomp then for a fireman's carry to a neck breaker. A good Pele kick from the top. Had a good curb stomp for a finish, but this was a really good. No, it was a curb stomp reversal to a Styles clash for a near fall. There were so many good matches. If I were you, if you were just a wrestling nut, I mean, you're just there for the matches. You don't really care about the entertainment factor. That's all totally fine to me. Watch this match. Watch this match, and you can see why these guys are literally the best in the world. They're really nice wrestlers. But anything else, these guys should have had a better feud other than I respect you, but I want to face you. Because it's the first time these guys. I already told you guys about this Lars Sullivan segment, so let's just go into the last singles match of the night. That was Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens that I did not watch much of. This was just interesting. Kofi Kingston won off of Trouble in Paradise. This was alright if you just like just tossing niggas over the top, just frog splash, super kick. Reversal, Kofi Kingston triumph. We had 2 title changes and 3 title changes and 2 regainments. Next was the money. So Kofi Kingston retained. That's all I gotta say. I did not care. Next up was the main event. Pretty entertaining. It was a pretty alright. It was pretty good Money in the Bank ladder match involving the Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. It's supposed to be Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman couldn't be there because they don't like putting Braun Strowman to actually good events. Lesnar versus Strowman, Royal Rumble. Now the Money in the Bank. Okay. Baron Corbin, Ali, Randy Orton, Andrade, Ricochet, and McIntyre. Brock Lesnar. Okay, so this match was good. There was a few good segments. Pretty good kicks to the face of McIntyre and RKO swinging. I thought they wouldn't do that. I thought that was mainly for high flyers. Except I remember that he did the same thing when Kane was trying to climb the ladder and hit him with an RKO midair. Then Mustafa Ali, I heard he got a really bad bloody mouth afterwards. Baron Corbin hit a deep 6 on the outside. Sunset flip powerbomb from Andrade from the freaking ladder. This is what it takes, but very little storytelling, because we know everybody's trying to do a spot. Everybody's trying to do spot fest. Nobody's ever trying to be strategic about this shit. Except the surprise when Ali been battered nearly the entire match. Tossed out Corbin. That was notable for the choke slam on, I think it was Ali, and frickin' had nearly grabbed the briefcase. I don't know why he was distracted of just Brock Lesnar coming into the ring. Literally just tossed the ladders at the cameraman. Seriously, what the fuck, Brock? Now you're gonna owe him a shit ton. And because those are really expensive cameras. Came in, tossed out Mustafa. That was the only person in the ring. Nobody else wanted to get up. Corbin was just tossed out the ring. I think he could have just recuperated and come back to stop Brock Lesnar. Somebody else that wasn't that badly damaged, like Ricochet. Stop Brock Lesnar! But everybody's in the fear because the mystique of Brock Lesnar. Yet he's been doing the same shit for nearly 6 years. So, yeah. This is a pretty good match. It was a pretty good match. It had a shitty finish, having just a shock factor. But because if Strowman wasn't going to be in it, if Sami Zayn wasn't going to be in it, who should be? Oh, Brock Lesnar. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so fucking awesome. Oh my god. Oh shit. Yeah, this is me all day, bro. I was so excited to see that our Money in the Bank briefcase holder would have been the longest reigning Universal Champion. That's what everybody wants. A man that has very little fucking title defenses with his last reign as Universal Champion to win the briefcase and make it more awe-inspiring unless he fails to cash it in. That would be actually a feel-good moment. Oh my fucking god. This pay-per-view gets a 5 out of 10. This was a pretty good show, but the false finishers, too many mistakes. The women's ladder match wasn't that good. The Becky 2-belt situation was bullshit. The backstage segments were retarded. The Lars Sullivan and fucking Lucha House Party were on pay-per-view. Lars Sullivan didn't even have a good match. He couldn't even wrestle Matt Hardy or goddamn R-Truth. But the Lucha fucking House Party, all because they're on Raw? The saving graces were at least the Rollins and Styles match. The Money in the Bank ladder match opener was pretty alright. The tag team match with the Usos and Daniel Bryan and Rowan was pretty good, except it had no means to ever exist. This pay-per-view was alright. So it gets a 5 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed Money in the Bank and get ready for the Super Showdown that's just a week away. 2 weeks away. Yay! Saudi Arabia, right? I wish I had Saudi flags so I can burn them. But that'd be desecrating a flag, and I'm not with that shit. But still, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, my takes. I'll have my opinion for the new championship that Mick Foley presented on Raw on my Raw review. Thank you for watching, everybody.